I need to acknowledge some people, because one thing I noticed the day that Jim started talking about it, I'm actually doing 10 times better than I thought I was going to do. But when Jim came out and told me I was being inducted, I didn't respond very well. As a matter of fact, I remember hanging my head and the tears came. I honestly cried because I was so caught off guard. At least in this situation, I've had more than a month to prepare for this moment. But after it was over with, I realized that, you know what, I didn't really share any happiness towards this. As a matter of fact, I was worried after Jim had left and I thanked him and then he gave me a hug and almost broke my back. He was so excited that I really wasn't sure if my players realized how thankful I was. So I walked out as they began stretching for the day's practice and I told them, guys, what's most important to me isn't the awards that you receive or the accolades that you accomplish in life as you go through life. They're there. I mean, we've won championships. We've hung a banner. I've been privileged enough to be part of championship teams with other places because Danny would let me go out and coach Pro Bowl in the summer, that sort of thing. But it doesn't mean a thing if you don't have people to share it with. That's the greatest reward in life. I look around this room and I see so many people that it doesn't take any effort for me to say, I love you. And they say it back to me. I've gotten message after message this week of people that couldn't be here that made one very important statement to me. You were always my friend before you were my coach. That's so priceless. And I know I shared, I'm even looking at people that I don't coach. I see them sitting around this room and you make me feel like that. Thank you. I want to acknowledge these people real quick, but I've already talked, and thank you for being here, Charlie. You know where you are with me. Jenna Wade is here right now. I wasn't sure. I was almost paranoid because I asked Jim. He's up here a little while ago. I said, "Where's Jenna Wade?" I couldn't find him. My mom doesn't know you, but she also doesn't know what I told you. My father passed away 5 years ago, and sir, next to my father, you are my hero. I salute you every day at the baseball field. And it isn't just because you're so kind to us, me, or anybody. It's what you stand for. You are my John Wayne. You are my hero. And I need you to hear that from my voice. Thank you for being here, sir. Ed Fanning, if you would please stand up for just 1 second, if you don't mind. I know this is painful for you. Nobody outside of our baseball program in here knows who Ed Fanning is. And I got to take a minute with Ed because it's a little bit difficult. Ed came to me years ago when his son was in our baseball camp. And he offered to talk to our team and explain to us that he was a motivational speaker and that he used to do that for Major League Baseball. I said to myself, what the heck, we got nothing to lose. Let this guy talk for 45 minutes. If he's horrible, big deal. You know, we just wasted 45 minutes. But if he didn't work for Major League Baseball, it's got to stand for something. I'm not kidding, folks. When we came into the room that day and talked to our players, there's always 3 people in a group of 30 that are going to sit back and go, whatever. I looked around after 5 minutes of his speech, first speech, and everybody was on the edge of their seat. And they're like, man, this guy's good. Denny and I asked Ed to be a part of our program and start talking to our team. Motivational, emotionally, not only our teammates, you can trust that Denny and I went to Ed quite often. He was the mind doctor for us for quite some time. And about 13 years ago, if I'm not mistaken, Ed got, but isn't it ironic that after Ed got involved in our program, over that course of that 13 years is when we became the predominant program that we are today, winning more games than any other program in the United States. But what Ed doesn't know is you are my mentor. In my lifetime, I've had great people surrounding me, but none have had a bigger impact on me as a baseball coach and a person outside of my immediate family, my mother and my father. And Ed, I need you to know you are my mentor, and I'm so glad you're here today. I want to say one thing to you, and you'll understand it because you're older than me, to serve with love. Thank you, Ed. I know I got to pick pick this up or Jim's going to kick me in the tail back. I need a couple other people. Greg Newman, Brandon Kitch, Derek Snell, Garrett Parker. Stand up, guys, or I'll forget who I'm addressing. And I'm so afraid. I told my mom the biggest worry I have is that I'm going to forget somebody today. Derek Parker, where you at? Stand up. Now, if I've forgotten somebody, you better stand up right now, because I'm going to feel horrible afterwards. And this is my day, or Sally and I's day, and you're not allowed to make this. You guys, not only did you play for us here at OCU, but you guys are now, and have been in the past, representing Danny and I as assistant coaches as well, too. And every single one of you guys are like brothers to me. You know that. I never leave Greg Newman or Brandon Kitch ever without saying, I love you, man. We talk on the phone. You got to understand, sometimes that's a little embarrassing. You're in front of a bunch of little kids doing a camp, and Brandon or Greg are walking out and say, Greg, I love you. I love you too, Lytle. But one thing I learned a long time ago is that, and I actually learned it through Greg, and I'm not going to tell the story right now where he lost his dad. I learned that sometimes you don't get that chance. You don't get a second chance to remind the people that you love, and I'm never going to let these guys walk away from you without letting you know how much I love you and how much you've given for so little in return monetarily. I realize that. You guys are as much a part of the success of this program as anybody in this room. Thank you for being here. I love you all. Oh, by the way, you all know. Okay, couple more things. Yes, they know me. Players, if you're a player in this program, either alumni or current players, stand up. Stand up. This is where it gets tough, because I'm not even gonna try. There's alumni in here, there's current players in here, and I don't have to tell you, because as Denny said, you know what you mean to me. Even if you're brand new. Adam Clark, where are you? You're the newest member. You just got here about 20 minutes ago on a bus. The bottom line is, if you play for Denny and I, you're a part of me. You're a part of my life. You're a part of my heart just as much as you are Danny. The bottom line is that I want you to know Jim O'Reilly. I kind of assumed my name would be on this plaque. Every single one of you guys, along with the guys that played here before that couldn't be here today, your name deserves to be on this plaque right along with mine. You guys are the reason why I get up every morning and I can't wait to get to work. I'm the luckiest man in the face of the earth. I really am. I'm still doing the same thing that I fell in love with when I was 4 years old. And you guys let me live that dream through you. Jimmy Valvano said one time, I remember this, it might have been through Ed, that on a daily basis we should learn to laugh, to think, and to cry. Especially with my alumni guys. I've done all three of those emotions with each one of you guys. Stefan, how many times did you and I celebrate together and laugh? How many times did I cry with you? But you know what I love about this job more than anything else, at least where I'm at today, is that you guys let me cross a line that most coaches are afraid to. You let me be your friend first, and then you respect me as a coach second, and I appreciate that. For all of you guys, Stefan Dion, raise your hand, Stefan. He's from Quebec, Canada. Last night I went to pick my mom up at the airport, and I'm looking around the corner for her, and Stefan and I were extremely close. All of them was, and I know here's where you're getting in a problem. But Stefan came walking around the corner. I'm looking for my mom this way, and all of a sudden I turn around, Stefan's standing right there. It's like, Steffi, what are you doing? He goes, what are you doing? He was trying to surprise me and show up today, and I ended up running into him at the airport. He thought I was there to pick him up. So what I do, I gave him a ride to his hotel. Fellas, thank you. Your name's on this plaque and will always be there with me. Thank you. I'm sorry, Denny, I don't know whether to put you first, last, in the middle, or wherever. But the bottom line is you know, and I know you know this. The greatest thing about working in an environment that I am is that man has always treated me as his equal. Every assistant coach in the country should have the privilege of being treated like I was. And I know that's not always the case. Billy, you're sitting back there with Brian. You've been with Brian for a long time. God knows you deserve to be up here just as much as I am right now. But I know the reason why you're with Brian is because he treats you as his equal. You're just as important to the program as he finds himself to be. That's always been the case with Denny. I remember one year, Denny, and again going back to awards, Denny got the Coach of the Year award, and he tried to give it to me. It's like, he insisted. It was like, Denny, that's not mine. I mean, think about it. You guys are all the same. That's not mine. It's got your name on it. You take it home. But deep down inside, I also knew what he was saying to me, what I always knew. It doesn't take a plaque to make me know my value to Denny. He's always made me feel that way. And we've been together 24 years. Guys, it's like a marriage, and I don't want to hear any stuff about that, okay? But his job is a lot harder than mine because he's got to put up with me. I kind of laugh at that picture right there because when I'm mad, my finger comes out like this. Denny's had to let me have my, temper tantrums, whatever. He's allowed me to be who I am and shared every ounce of his successes with me equally. That's priceless. Every coach should have, assistant coach should have that privilege. But you also, my friend and my brother, you've always been there for me. You don't do it, you do it in your own sly way, and I love it. There's days when I'm coming in, and because I'm typical Keith, just like Dirth, we ain't happy unless we're mad. And he'll let me just go on and have my, okay, just let him get it out of his system. But then there's days when he really knows that I need him. And he picks his moments so perfectly. When my father died, I had no idea he was showing up. I was getting ready to do my father's eulogy, and he walked through the door, and it was like an angel sent from God, because I needed him, and he was there. Thank you, Jimmy. I need my mother and my wife, Jane, to come up here for a minute, and I don't want to hear anything. Just get your butts up here. Do you guys have any idea why you're up here right now? You do? Because of you, I'm here. Without you, I'm not here. This lady to my left never missed a day of my practices, ever. She sat in the rain. She actually managed to get on the field at times, too. I got hit in the face one year. In high school baseball, my face split open. I was bleeding all over the place, and I thought it was a trainer trying to pry my hands away from my face, and all of a sudden I heard, "Honey, let me see your face," and it's like, "Mom, what the hell are you doing?" What this lady did is she encouraged me at 4 or 5 years old to play baseball. She talked me into playing baseball. I wasn't sure if I wanted to, and she talked me into it. And she took that little boy and she taught him a passion. She gave him a passion for something in life which everybody should have. More importantly, though, this lady to my left taught me how to say I love you and the value of a hug. If you didn't hug my mom and tell her you loved her 100 times a day, something was wrong. And I love her for that. This lady to my right, this one to my left turned over a little boy to the one on my right. And what I love about her the most, more than anything else, is that she's let me stay that little boy. She sacrificed so much so I could stay that little boy. She sacrificed summers away while I coached Pro Bowl when I was gone. She sacrificed me putting my players sometimes way before her, or even Joe, my son. Stand up, Joe. But I know for a fact that if it wasn't for these two ladies, they always say, I'm not going to say a great man because I don't consider it, but behind every good man, there's even better women. I've got the two best in the world, and I thank them both. Last thing I want to say is my father, as I shared with you, passed away 5 years ago. Most people, when they talk about somebody that passed away, they say, I wish he could be here. Guess what? My dad's here right now. And the strongest thing that my father ever taught me, he said, life is about choices. And he told me, Keith, make good choices. If you don't lie to people, if you don't steal, and you work your butt off, people will recognize you, and you will accomplish it in a humble way. I know my dad's proud of it, and he's here with all of us. And I know that the bottom line is if it wasn't for that lesson I learned from my dad, I wouldn't be standing here either. Thank you so very much for coming out today, and I appreciate everybody's love.
When you come to Levin's Arena to see the banners in our 16th chapel, I love that analogy. I hope you'll also come in the lobby, because in the lobby you'll see 3 plaques that are identical to these in our Hall of Fame. In fact, they're there now. So if you have a moment today, go on over and take a look at that. We're thrilled you're here. We appreciate what you mean to OCU. We're proud of our past and more excited about our future than ever. So thank you so much for being here today. We look forward to next year's Hall of Fame luncheon. It can't compare to what we've done today, but we're sure going to try. Thank you very much. Have a great day.